self-promotion. I think it's when other hypnotists we get caught up on it. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you do a good job for the clients, and two, we all acknowledge that there is only one, number one.
Yeah, it's there could be 1,000 metrics as to
Yes.
why we call each other, number one, and it could be number one in user satisfaction. How do you
Fraser,
judge that?
Fraser Penman, for me at the moment, is the UK's number one because he's doing a show of that caliber in the West End, in Broadway. That to me is what puts hypnosis out there and gets more people doing it. So on that basis, I think he's doing the best production show for a hypnotist. So that makes him, for me, makes him UK's number one. If it was who's the busiest, well, I personally don't know anyone that's busier than me, which is good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure. I'm sure it has its moments.
yeah, when it comes to best, for me, the best stage hypnotist in the UK has got to be Andrew Newton. And I know he hates me, but I just think his show's really polished. So yeah, Robert Temple was great, but then Robert had his challenges. That's what all we'll say about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all good fun. How are things in the world of Canada, Sean?
Well, it is hot, and because of all the rain that we've had, it's not the usual hot, dry weather that we have. It's kind
Oh,
of that hot, sticky kind of weather. This shout out to Steve Supachana, who's joining me up here on TikTok. Uh, I just saw your new deck, Steve. Looks really good. They were busy getting a deck built in their new place, so
nice.
all good. Yeah, Canada's really weird. It's I know he's
On
Grant
Canada's.
knows he's been here, but no, we were actually talking yesterday in the Aisha call about chicken lotteries that apparently are being done in certain areas, and I think they're going to try and bring them to Vegas because why not why
Yeah.
not bet on something else that is totally random like chickens. Anyway, long story short, I didn't even know that was a thing. So, um, but yeah, leave it to small town Saskatchewan to come up with a new way to entertain people.
Yes. The compliment of the live has got to be someone on TikTok that says, "You better stop looking at me like that, or you're going to get me into trouble." I must admit, it looked like a really, again, I always hate missing those iShirt meetings. I just liked with my, oh, dear me. TikTok's going into a weird place tonight. So yeah, Jesse Lewis posted about like the production and how he's changing his show with the lighting rig that is set up. That looks really, really interesting, and so I like seeing that type of stuff. The Aisha meetings, for those that don't know, is the International Stage Hypnosis Association. Um, do some fantastic weekly workshops for hypnotists around the world, which are really, really good. Um, and long-standing professionals such as Jesse Lewis, who is brilliant. Oh, bless. Jesse, who's a long-standing professional, really great guy. Again, even he's picking up new things and learning new things, and so that's what the industry is about.
Well, and Michael DeShallot was on the call yesterday as well, and he said, this is absolutely perfect because this is what I needed as
Yeah,
well. So yeah, I mean, it just is further proof that yes, you know what, we're all in this together, and if we want our profession to survive, I was going to see if I can. No, that's the mirroring. There's me. There's Grant. There. There you go, Steve. Now you can see. Yeah, that is Grant. If we want our profession to grow and survive and do the things that we all hope are going to bring us all kinds of success, that requires getting together and actually sharing, and not threatening, not I'm better than you. It's we're all in this together, and we can all learn something from somebody.
Collaboration happens at the top, competition happens at the bottom.
Yeah,
We can all learn from that. So Beth says, "How did you get into hypnosis? How does one know that they can do it?" Um, Anybody can learn how to do it. It's basic psychology. In fact, it's not anybody can learn how to do it. It's incredibly easy to learn how to do it. And Beth, because you are UK based, do check out my Facebook. I do have a course coming up, a sort of sales pitch. But if you're interested in, here's the thing, and Sean will back me up on this: learning hypnosis is a skill that will benefit you in whatever you do in your life. So even if you don't want to be a therapist, if you don't want to do stage stuff, even if you just want to learn how to communicate and have influence over people a little bit better, then hypnosis is a good skill to learn.
yeah. Language matters.
Yes. And
Uh, Brian is talking about my new look. Do I have a new look?
I don't know. Do you have a new look? Oh, you've got. Is that a bit of a beard you've got going on there?
Well, yeah, but that was here at the beginning of summer, so
Yeah, that's going to say.
I just haven't taken it off yet.
Yes. It may be that you're wearing pink, Sean. I know Brian is partial to a bit of pink. Oh God, that sounded so wrong. The rumours aren't true about Brian.
We are not talking about steak.
Charlie Tank says, "Yo, I was on the hub and accidentally switched to TikTok and busted to your lives."
I actually had a couple of people say the exact same thing. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I was doing something, and then your live showed up. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
So, when you read something and you're just used to reading without filtering it when you're reading it. So there we go. Brian says wrong pink. Yes, definitely. There's no such thing as the wrong pink, Brian. Anyway, getting back to the world of hypnosis, which
Yes,
is
we actually have some news these days. Um,
really interesting about. We've not got a graphic for it, but Hypno World magazine has had a rebrand. They're
yep,
now Hypno News Today, Hypno Today, Hypnosis Today.
yep. To hypnosis today, and actually, I do actually have the new logo.
Oh,
Uh,
brilliant!
Give me just a second here, and I will drop it in the chat.
Yes, Beth, it is a meowy Christmas. It is a meowy Christmas mug. It's never too early for Christmas.
Christmas in July. That's what all the sales are about right now.
Exactly. Here's my cat mug, a British short hair blue.
And there we are.
Yeah, so we mentioned last week about Hypno Thoughts is now no longer in Vegas, it's now in Atlanta. So that's going to be interesting. That's also moved. TikTok's chat is spicy tonight. I don't know what I have done. I'm sure I would have remembered that, Finlay. So yes, where were we? Yeah, it's moved to Atlanta in Georgia. I've never been to Georgia, so that'll be interesting. But for me, the next big one is Michigan. Really looking forward to that. And then obviously, there's the UK Hypnosis Convention coming up in November. That's going to be really good. However, I'm supposed to be speaking at that, and I've just had an agent contact me about a potential cruise. So that'll be another personal letdown. But that's the life of a performer. And Sean, being the tech genius that he is, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever, you'll see that it's brought up Hypnosis Today, the Monday
Yep.
Report, which is the new branding for that. I
You
did
know,
that.
and I got to give it to Dan. Like his graphics and his opening sequence for everything, absolutely top notch. The last Hypno World magazine will be out. Last one branded as Hypno World, and then it will switch over to Hypnosis Today and maintain its consistent branding moving forward. So, but kudos to Dan. Not one to shy away from making a change.
Yeah.
Uh, and I go back to something that Dan said to me. Gosh, this would be about 2 or 3 months ago. He says, "I don't know if it's right or wrong. I just do it, and I figure out right or wrong later."
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Just keep doing it. Keep doing it until it works. That's always been a good philosophy of mine.
yeah.
Beth asked me how many more dinosaurs am I going to make walk the earth. Do you know what, Beth? I don't know. It's one of my favourite routines, and when you get people like yourself that really respond well to it, it just. I didn't last night's show. I didn't do the dinosaur routine, and the show was lacking because of it. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, with the work that Dan does, and do you know what? Hats off to Dan. You know, he works incredibly hard in the hypnosis industry. You know, he has a podcast, a blog, a magazine, a conference, on all of that on top of all of his work as well.
And he also supports other conferences as well. Like,
Yes.
Dan is not one to, this is what I'm doing. You can come and just come over here and just be with me. You can actually see Dan, and he says it's his byline. I'll see you out there.
Yeah.
He's not one to just sit in a room and think up of new ways to bring people to him to spend money, or whatever the case may be. Dan is very much about sharing and helping people back and forth. In fact, he was just on a podcast an hour ago on Instagram, and the exact answer came out. How did you get into this? Well, you know what? It wasn't Dan that got into it. It was Jim.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said Jim called me up and we talked for like 3.5 hours, and after that we had the Michigan conference and the Pacific Northwest conference,
Yeah.
and then it went from there. So, uh, but Dan is more than happy to collaborate, to work with people who are willing to work with him. So, and that's right. Steve says it right here. He doesn't gatekeep at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly. And so, yeah, Miss Smith has said, "Great show. Saw you at the OEC." Yes, remember it well. Great, great venue, the OEC. And I do follow you on your travels as well. I see you got a camper van or converted van, which is something I'm after myself. I spend my life on the road, so to see that camper van life is brilliant. Yeah, one of the things that Jim was great for, and you know this, Sean, is he was great for talking you into doing things. Uh,
That was part of the Jim Kellner charm.
yeah,
If you could bottle that up as a cologne, I think it would do really well in the market. Uh,
yeah,
Jim, he was more the how do I phrase this? He was always more interested in what you wanted to do
yes,
and who he could connect you with to make it happen.
yes,
And somewhere in there, he would come up with these weird ideas because he's Jim.
yeah,
And all of a sudden there would be 7 or 8 of you around a table, and there's another conference being board.
yeah.
This is how performing hypnosis came about. Uh, you
Exactly.
know, it's like,
Well,
oh, and then next thing you know, everybody's talking into doing something. So
yeah, it was great at that, and I think he helped bring out the best in everybody. But as hypnotists, that's what we do.
yeah,
With clients, we want to bring out the best of them. With our volunteers on stage, we want to bring out the best of them. And again, as a person, in life, you want to bring out the best of those around you as well. So we could all be more Jim.
yeah, exactly. I think that's cologne we'll need to invent. We'll call it JK.
Yeah,
Well, the JK, the happy cologne. Uh,
Jake for the happy cologne. Yes.
there we go. Oh boy.
Oh, do you know what? Actually, Beth, that is very, very sweet of you to say. If you ever want kind of hypnosis to help you with anything, drop me a message. We can do it over Zoom as well. Beth just says he's helped me to rewrite my story by giving me confidence boost since being part of the show.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's what. that's what I think as hypnotists, especially on stage, we can do is take that the fun stuff we do and then kind of go use this for confidence in the rest of your life as well.
Well, and who was I talking to the other day? Oh, I know who I was talking to. Somebody who was actually interested in learning more about hypnosis, and one of the things that was said over the course of the meeting was, I think as stage performers, we undervalue or we undersell what our volunteers actually learn about themselves when they're up
Absolutely.
on stage. So something that I will address, and that might have been at the Aisha meeting too. I don't remember. Somebody might have said it there, but you know what? Maybe it was Scott Houghton that said that, and so true because there is a 10-minute chunk of time at the end, and we all do different things. We provide gifts and things like that, but I think it's incumbent upon us when we close out our shows to also point out, that these people have learned something about themselves internally, that they are the better for it.
Yep.
And if you want, and then you can do your sell after that. But yeah, again, we have the coolest profession
Yeah.
on the earth.
100%. I
So
must admit, the traveling is one thing, but the performing and doing the job, absolutely love it. Just to answer a quick question, um, do I like Billie Eilish? Yeah, who doesn't? Um, so yeah, no. So part of the thing I do, I've started to do more recently. At the end of the show, it is like as I'm waking them up. Part of that awaken procedure, I'm sure the guys do this as well, is I will kind of say, listen, any time from this moment forward when you feel like you may need a boost of confidence or self belief, you'll remember that time that you strut on a catwalk as a dinosaur, roaring to the audience in front of hundreds of people, and that confidence will come flooding back. And so it's always good to kind of give them a reason of what, that was silly, but here's where it can give you more confidence, and here's how it can benefit your life.
yeah, yeah, and I do something similar. I call it the gift, and I actually use an NLP uh, uh, anchor in there. So I get them to put their hands over their heart, picture their favorite color all around them, and
Cool.
then speak almost exactly the same thing. That you're feeling very peaceful right now. You can come back to this just by doing this. Do it only when it's safe to do it. Don't do it when you're driving. But basically the same sort of thing that builds them up, and that you've now got a tool that you can use going forward, and you had fun getting it. So
Yes, exactly.
wow, I'm watching Facebook here, and I know I sent out a whole bunch of invites to people to say, hey, you should like our pages and whatnot, and I'm just seeing Hypno News, Hypno News, Hypno News, Hypno News. uh,
Nice.
yeah.
So yeah, so Case is like, dude, your fans, what the f? Yeah, they were.
Is that our Casey?
Yes, Casey, bless her.
Yeah.
Casey,
Casey, we got to get together for coffee before I go back to the school division.
yes, Casey, Sean needs you to get a coffee. Do you think men should read a woman a bedtime story every night? Oh, bless. But you know what? It's one of the things again. Like if it wasn't for Jim, I'd have never met Casey, and if it wasn't for Casey, PHS wouldn't be what it is. Do you know what I mean? And I love the fact that Casey has smashed out a few shows now, and Brian is still talking about it.
Yeah, that was the original bet.
Yes, oh, absolutely, Milan. Always put a smile on my face. Yeah, where are we up to? At the Canadian Hypnosis Conference.
Yeah, what's Brian talking about here? Must be a new Canadian fans website. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, bless. Yeah, Canadian Hypnosis Conference. Again, Toronto. here's the weird thing. I need to go to Toronto because every time I tell people I've been to Canada for a month touring, they go, "Oh, what was Toronto like?" And I'm like, "I didn't go to Toronto." They went, "Where did you go?" And I go, "I went to Saskatchewan." And they're like, "Where's that?" And I'm like,
North.
it's,
Just tell them it's north of North Dakota.
"Yeah,
So it's like OnlyFans, but Canada. So is it hockey?
yeah, yeah." Beth says, "I can be real to myself and no one bats an eyelid how weird I am." Beth, here's the best lesson I had in life. Weird is the way to go. Be as weird and as wonderful as you want to be, because you know what will happen? Your weird and wonderful tribe will find you and they will raise you up as their leader. Be
Yeah.
weird and just embrace it. It's the best thing. The moment I stopped trying to fit in, my life just opened up. And so, yeah, Beth, you were my most awesome dinosaur and most awesome rock star, and you can tell you've got such a great energy.
100%.
Yeah,
Okay, who else do we need to talk about? Oh, you know what we should talk about? We should make mention of the fact that uh, we,
PHS.
yeah, we did this one kind of off the top. We said that it is moving.
Yep.
So I know they've extended the early bird ticket deadline. So if you are
Hmm.
thinking about going to Atlanta, that window is still very much open. Um, we talked about Frazier and where he's at right now with the Now
Yeah.
You See Me Live group, and you know that group there. The only one that I know for sure that I followed prior to this group coming together was Gabriella Lester, and she is just a little engine that could, if you will. Um, she had a rough
Sure.
upbringing, and you know she's made good on it.
Yeah.
And then you add a guy like Frazier who also has had, you know, different kind of upbringing and making good on it. Now, this is proof from two things: one, that hypnosis and magic and all of this stuff is actually really fun, and
Yeah.
two, you can rewrite your life story.
Oh, 100%. And here's it, you can rewrite your life story at any point that you want. That's the amazing thing. Beth says, I always believed hypnotists had watches and swung it back and forth to get you.
Well, we do.
We do. I mean, you can use a watch to do it. You can use, yeah, Sean's just got his pocket watch out now. You can,
Have pocket watch will travel.
yeah, can swing
Um,
anything back and forth and use it for hypnosis.
well, not anything, because after a while it hurts.
And it's cold in Canada, so
Yeah, well, yes, there is temperature to consider as well.
it's
Oh gosh, I think it was Clark that said anything that assumes trans creates trans.
100
Uh,
exactly.
so you know whether we tell you to focus on the green dot on your video camera or a spot on the wall, or your hand, which is what I use for my inductions on stage, rather than have them look out into the stage and pick a light or something like that at the far end of the room. It's right here and it's immediate. Um, you know, whatever that is what will actually get people um, going into that perfect level of hypnosis for them. So
A good friend of mine, John Steele, he's the guy that does all my pictures. And he hates it when I say it, and I do it on some of my short form stuff. And I always say, hypnosis is not what you think, it's what you
what you
think.
think? I still
Exactly.
love that. And if you're not going to make good on it, I'm using it.
Yeah, no, it's there. It is. It's my favourite one. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm going to bring it back out just to annoy John as well.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's not. Hypnosis is not what you think. It's what you think.
yeah,
Absolutely brilliant.
yeah,
Um, and in many cases, very hypnotic, you know, as well, because it's really uh, challenging your conscious mind to think about what you think about.
yeah, yeah. I must
We
admit, I
should,
got caught up in a networking group that I'm part of. Um, oh, I like that. Casey says it's so easy you can do it with your eyes closed.
that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hypnosis can happen, you know, 5 seconds from now or now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, in the networking thing, I was. As yes, I am. As I have not forgotten about your business cards as well. I've just been on the road. As from Azure Wellness, great guy, and he's coming to my hypnosis training in October as well. So yeah, that's cool. What was I saying? Yeah, and so I'm doing a talk to the network in a couple of weeks' time, and I was like, oh, in that talk, I'm going to need someone that I can put into hypnosis as a volunteer for a couple of weeks' time. And two of them knew what I was doing by kind of priming them. But yeah, like you said, everything is hypnosis.
Yep. Yeah, there is a theory out there that says we all live in our and experience the world through our own trance.
Oh yeah,
And so all we're doing is just arresting or disrupting your trance and replacing it with another one.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So yeah, we just touched on it at PHS 2027.
Yes, we've got all kinds of good things to talk about with this one here. The big news is I'm already on version 2 of the schedule,
Yeah, 2.0.
2.0.
So yeah,
And what we need is we have a few people we are going to be reaching out to confirm that they are in fact speaking, because if not, we'll reassign their speaking slot. And you can expect over the next little while that we will be sending you an email with confirmation that you are in fact a chosen one.
a chosen one. Yes, we've tweaked. We're not going to tell them yet, but we've tweaked the wording on what we call them this year, haven't we, Sean?
That's right.
Beth, I travelled down Leicester quite a lot. I did Leicester Comedy Club last year, so I'm always around Leicester and the Midlands. So yeah, in fact, Leicester's not too far from me actually. And that's the weird thing about touring. You kind of look at something that's a couple of hours away and go, "Yeah, it's not far."
Well, I was looking at flights today to come down to PHS, and so I was looking at, okay, if I fly out of Regina, if I fly out of Saskatoon, those are the
Yes,
closest airports, right? And
yeah.
then Minot, and it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Casey says, "What should I speak about?" Casey, you could speak about anything, and I would come and listen to that.
Yep, and you know what, Casey? Like I said, we got to get together for coffee because there's a couple other things
Yep,
that we should connect on.
yeah,
Um, in fact,
yeah,
if she's available Sunday, we could. I'll send her the link to the PHS meeting.
yeah. If you're available Sunday, Casey, Sean will send you. I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can hear Sean. He's only there. For me, it's weird because you guys are there and Sean's just there. Um, but yeah, if you can hear Sean, he's going to send you a link if you're available on Sunday for a Zoom. But yeah, the schedule this year is tight, and we've got some amazing speakers.
Yep,
So yeah, I'm. This is my favorite lineup so far, assuming everybody comes.
yep, yep. And we still have people that are inquiring about speaking. It's a cool problem to have,
Yeah,
because you really don't want to say no to anybody, but we've had to make some decisions about where people are going and how we're going to fit everybody in. Next year, I think all of this points to opening up a third
third room. Yeah,
on prem room.
yeah,
Uh, and so next year you could very well see that there are three on prem and one online. Where we're streaming all four of those at the same time.
yeah.
Um, how am I going to split myself into three or four different pieces? Well, I'm an IT guy from days gone by. I can do it.
You can do it.
There's
Next,
still enough for me to go around.
he says, I wrote a chapter in a book and need to share about it on a podcast, and she's available Sunday. Um, has Casey been on the Hypnosis Hero podcast?
Yes, we've had Casey on, and we should make mention of that just briefly. Brian and I are starting the next season of the Hypnosis Hero podcast. Let's see, there it
Nice.
is. We are starting towards the end of August, so that fourth Tuesday in August is we will have the big guy, Dan Goyette, on talking about the Michigan International Hypnosis Convention. and then yeah, then we're off. So if you are a hypnotist out there and you do want to speak on a podcast or be interviewed, you can hit us up at the hypnosishero podcast.com
Yes.
website and apply to be a guest. We only have so many slots because we go second and fourth Tuesday of the month. So I think there are 16, maybe 20 slots,
Nice.
depending on
And
where we end.
you and Brian Bay host that. And what's really nice and unique about it is you have the guests on talk about their stuff, and then they do some actual hypnosis online as well, don't they?
Yeah, and that was again, talking about Jim. Uh, that was his thing, was always to make sure as much as possible that there was some form of hypnosis going on at the end of the podcast, because hypnosis here, you can see it there, it's get hypnotized through the screen,
Yeah.
was the whole original premise of what Jim started. So
And now that it's you and Brian, you've managed to get it down to 3 or 4 hours.
2.5, a good 2.5,
A good.
and even at that, it depends on who the guest is, because
Yeah.
sometimes we tend to ramble. Well, Brian tends to ramble.
Yeah.
Uh, I tend to say, Brian, we got to wrap this up, and yeah, an hour later we're still talking. So
You need to OBS a shepherd's crook and just
you know what, when I get my new laptop, because that is a goal.
yeah.
Uh, I will make sure there's enough RAM so I can run OBS underneath everything, and then yes, then I can have the button that says, "Hey, run this video over top of Brian."
Yeah. Listen. Cool. I think that is it from us this week. Next
Yep.
week we should have. I don't want to jinx it, but we should have first public draft of the schedule.
Let's hope so. The first public draft could come as early as we think it's good to go on Sunday. So
Wow.
Um,
Excellent.
next week, I will actually hopefully be on the road. Theoretically, I'm supposed to be doing a show in Saskatoon on Wednesday, so I may or may not be joining you for Hypno News, depending on what time we decide to do Hypno News and what time I'm actually supposed to be on stage. But we'll figure that out, and
Figure it out.
one way, shape, or form, we will see you next time. And until
Yes.
then, take care, stay well, and
You're
be
awesome.
awesome. Have a good week, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Beth, you can be hypnotized to be a walking dinosaur all day, every day. Absolutely. And it's the best feeling, as you know, it's the best feeling in the world to be